Imagine this. You sit down after a long day and open one of the numerous apps that we all have, and 20 minutes later, you've watched 6 trailers, scrolled through hundreds of recommendations, and somehow you're still not watching anything. Now, compare that to grabbing a DVD from your shelf. You already know what you're going to watch. You put it in, press play, and you're enjoying the movie within seconds. So why are millions of people suddenly buying DVDs, Blu-rays, vinyl records, and even VHS tapes again? Is this just nostalgia? Or is something much deeper happening psychologically? Hello everyone. This is licensed professional counselor Robert Bryan, and welcome to Faith Meets Psychology. Today we're exploring why physical media is making an unexpected comeback, and what it reveals about the human mind. First, let's discuss why more choices aren't always better. Most of us have been taught that more options equal more freedom. It sounds logical. If I have 5 movies to choose from, that's good. If I have 5,000, that's even better. Right? Not necessarily. Psychologist Barry Schwartz introduced the idea known as the paradox of choice. His research suggests that as our choices increase, our satisfaction often decreases. Why? Because every decision requires mental energy. Every additional option asks your brain to compare, evaluate, predict, and worry about whether another choice would be better. Eventually, your brain becomes mentally exhausted before you've even started enjoying yourself. That's why so many people spend more time browsing than actually watching. Next, let's talk about why the psychological concept called decision fatigue is real. Every day, you're making hundreds, sometimes thousands of decisions. What to wear, what to eat, which emails deserve attention, what to post, who to text, what to text, how to respond to a text, how long you should wait between texting. By evening, your brain has already spent so much of its decision-making energy. Then, streaming services come along and ask you to make one more decision. Out of thousands of movies and streaming shows, your brain simply says, I don't feel like choosing. Now, a shelf with 30 DVDs often feels easier than an app with thousands of movies. Sometimes less choice actually creates more enjoyment. Next, let's discuss why we crave ownership. There's another fascinating reason people are returning to physical media. Ownership. When you buy a DVD, it's yours. It doesn't disappear because a licensing agreement expires. It doesn't require an internet connection. Nobody changes the artwork. Nobody removes the bonus features. Nobody raises your monthly subscription price. Psychologists know that humans value certainty. When something feels stable, our stress decreases. Digital media often feels temporary. Physical media feels permanent. That sense of permanence creates psychological comfort. Now, let's talk about digital burnout. Because let's be honest, many of us already spend 8, 10, or even 12 or more hours staring at screens. Work, emails, social media, text messages, news, notifications. By the time evening comes, many people don't actually want another endless algorithm telling them what to watch. They want something intentional. Opening a DVD case, reading the back, choosing one movie. It becomes an experience instead of another endless feed. Ironically, old technology can sometimes feel more peaceful than new technology. Now, why is nostalgia more powerful than we think? Because of course, nostalgia does play a role. When people hold a VHS tape or a DVD, they're often reminded of childhood, family movie nights, family trips to the video store, watching the same favorite movie over and over. Psychologists have found that nostalgia isn't simply remembering the past. It can actually reduce loneliness, increase positive emotion, and strengthen our sense of identity. Sometimes we're not just missing old technology, we're missing how life felt when we used it. Now, from a Christian standpoint, I think that there's an important lesson here. Our culture constantly tells us that more is better. More choices, more entertainment, more subscriptions, more content. However, Scripture repeatedly points us towards something different. Peace, contentment, simplicity, intentional living. Sometimes our minds don't need more stimulation. They actually need fewer distractions. Maybe that's one reason physical media is making a comeback. It's not really about DVDs. It's about a deeper desire for stability, presence, and peace in an increasingly noisy world. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Have you gone back to buying DVDs, Blu-rays, vinyl records, or even VHS tapes? Or do you think streaming is still the better option? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoy exploring the intersection of faith and psychology, please like the video and consider subscribing, because that's exactly what we do here. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.